Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We're going to be looking at the starting lineup. Arsenal up against Westham. Tomorrow it's going to be a night, a Wednesday night, Wednesday night football. One game that really means a lot for Arsenal, a lot. It's a London derby. How many London derbies have we won this season? This could be the biggest London derby for us this season because Westham, if you look at them, they're almost at the same level as we are, so probably that's why the game really means a lot. But we are also fighting for top four with West Ham. They are currently in the fourth position. We are in position 6 on the table. United will not be playing their game, or might not be playing their game against Brentford. So there is a big possibility that if we win this game, we go ahead of United. Even if we get a point, I think we'll go ahead of United. And I think this is why this game really matters a lot. If we don't win it, that means United and Spurs will have a game in hand, or will have games in hand, and they will be still above us. It really makes no sense when clubs have 3 games in hand, 2 games in hand, and then you're behind them. It makes no sense. So it's a game where I thought of squad rotation, probably resting some players, and maybe we should bring in some new names. But then I thought West Ham, you need your best players on the pitch. So I think it's a game where we shouldn't be even thinking about game rotation or squad rotation. It's just a game where we need to be on our best. It's going to take the best game plan from the manager, the game, the best talents there on the pitch, the best everything. On that, in this game must be at his best. So which players do I think should we use, and which formation do I think we should be using against West Ham? That's what we're going to be discussing in this video. Make sure you smash a like on the video and you subscribe as well. So in goal, I'll stick with Aaron Ramsdale. I thought about Leno as well. Like I said, I thought about squad rotation, but I think this is one of the games where a goalkeeper is going to be needed a lot. Mikel Antonio, the likes of Jerome Bowen, the likes of Benrahma, they're always going to be testing your goalkeeper. They're always going to be getting shots away, on goal, at your goal, at your own goalkeeper. So you need the best goalkeeper in goal. So that's why I think Ramsdale should be playing in this game. And maybe the game against Leeds and Norwich, the upcoming fixtures, then Leno can actually come and go, just for purposes of Ramsdale getting some rest. But Ramsdale in this game, I think it's going to be one of our key performers. It's going to be one of our key players. You know how much West Ham do have a quality press this season. They have scored 3 goals against Liverpool, and they have also scored 3 against Chelsea. Obviously, the goals they scored against Chelsea, I thought Ben Mendy should have done better, but again, those are 6 goals against Liverpool and Chelsea. Those are 6 goals against the best 2 sides, arguably in the league. They have scored 7 goals against Manchester City, Liverpool, and Chelsea. Though, for me, that is a guarantee that they will score. Much as they do concede, but they also score. We've seen they're a big threat to big teams. They're very, very big threat to very big teams. They do win those games. They've beaten Chelsea. They've beaten Liverpool, and they were almost getting a point against Manchester City. Yes, I think they really played poorly against City, but somehow they were trying to get a point. And Manuel Lanzini did pull one back, but it was close to the final whistle. So Ramsdale is going to be in goal for me, and he has got to be at his best form. It's not all about being in goal, but also being in goal at your best form. He's got to be at his best form. He's got to be really, really good against West Ham. It is at home, so I think his confidence will be boosted a little bit. Obviously, my best centre back in the league right now, Gabriel, should be playing alongside Ben White. Of course, there's no question there. Gabriel always being consistent. But of course, it's going to be against a bully who is Mikel Antonio. Of course, we know what Antonio means to West Ham. If he can't score, they will not score. That is, that is one thing. So I think Ben White and Gabriel will have to stop Mikel Antonio. That is the first thing they'll have to do. But also, among other tasks, they'll have to stop the likes of Benrahma. They'll have to stop the likes of Jerome Bowen and a couple of other players. Because what Mikel Antonio gives you is he gives you that presence in the box, but also when he goes away, he moves with your centre backs. So the likes of Jerome Bowen, the likes of Pablo Fornals do get those chances. The likes likes of Benrahma, they will get those chances. And I think we've got to be very, very positive, very, very alert, and we've got to be on top of our game. Gabriel and Ben White, it's going to be very, very disturbing evening. It's going to be a very, very difficult evening. I think it's going to be similar to when we played Liverpool, because again, if you look at the quality West Ham do possess up front, Bowen, Fornus, Benrahma, Lenzini, and then Mikel Antonio. It's so similar to Sadio Mane, Jota, and Salah. I think the only exceptional piece in the puzzle is Mo Salah. But Mane, you could think about Benrahma almost at the same level. Manuel Lanzini. Probably you could say, you could put him at the same level as maybe Jota, or probably you have Jerome Bowen, who is also flying at the moment. So they really have a very, very good press, and I really fear for Arsenal, in this game. Right back, obviously Tomiyasu is going to be on his, it has to be on his best game, in this one as well, because I think it's going to be Benrahma. Or Jerome Bowen against Tomiyasu, and I think one thing you have with Jerome Bowen is he's more like a Jota. He's got the talent. He can take you on one. He can run into spaces and defeat you in that way. And he always pops up in spaces when you do not expect him. He's a very fantastic player, and he really, really loves getting into the penalty area, and getting those goal-scoring chances. So I think Tomiyasu's job and role tomorrow will be how to stop Jerome Bowen, or maybe how to stop Said Benrahma. It depends on who David Moyes decides is going to be getting head on with Tomiyasu. But both of them are really quality players, and I expect Tomiyasu to have his notes ready and his revision really done well. Kiantian for me is a no doubt. The perfect fit at right back for this game. Nuno Tavares, this is not the kind of game. If Mikel Arteta plays Nuno Tavares in this game, I'll be quite disappointed, really, really disappointed, because for me, this is not the kind of game where you play Nuno Tavares. It's going to be of West Ham attacking more than we are going to be attacking them. Honestly, I think I honestly feel that yes, they do have defensive problems, and think our forward line has to be very, very lethal when it comes to finishing off the chances and creating them. But I think Benrahma will be up against Tierney, or Jerome Bowen will be up against Tierney. If Benrahma is up against Tierney, then Benrahma will be up against Tomiyasu, and of course we know how much quality there is. And of course, Kian Tierney for me is the player that should be able to stop either Jerome Bowen or Said Benrahma, and then Mikel Antonio and Manuel Lanzini could be stopped by Gabriel and Ben White. The midfield, where I think much of the action will be tomorrow, I would recommend Albert Sambi Lokonga to come back in the side. I'm going to say this: I've not been really, really impressed with Granit Xhaka's performances ever since he came back. Not because I don't like him as a player. Of course, I really, really, really do not rate him. But I think Lokonga has something that we are lacking in the past 3 games against United, against Everton, and now against Newcastle. I think we really lack Bisambi Lokonga. We lack the player that gives Thomas Partey the assurance to do whatever he wants, in the middle of the park. Xhaka has been sloppy, in his return games. I think what we should do, play Lokonga and Partey, because they're gonna have Thomas Susek in the midfield pivot with Declan Rice. We are playing one of the best midfielders in Europe right now in Declan Rice. We've got to have someone tail him. And I think the best person to do the job is going to be Albert Sambi Lokonga. Then, of course, followed by Thomas Partey, who had a very, very good game, by the way, against Southampton. I don't know whether he's going to have very good games against weak oppositions and then very poor games against standard oppositions. Because against Southampton, they didn't offer anything in that game. Literally, Southampton offered nothing. There was no opposition. It was Arsenal running the show and things like that. And Partey had a really, really very good game. But we need to see him now against the likes of Declan Rice, against the likes of Thomas Susek. Can he provide something special in that game? And then Odegaard, who has actually been the star man for Arsenal in the past 3 games, scored 3 goals in his last 3 games for Arsenal. And one thing I've liked about Odegaard is he's not really affected by the intensity and magnitude of the game. He really shines in small games and really shines in in big games. When we say against Manchester United, he was one of the best performers. He was actually the best performer in that game. Everton again, he was the shining stone in the bag in that game. And of course, against Southampton, we saw it again, scoring coming onto the score sheet, but also having a very very good performance and having an 8.3 SOFA score rating. That really means the player is really really doing well. So in the past 3 games, he's been our best player. So I expect him to start in this game, and I expect him to be really, really lethal and create something for us if you're going to win in anything in this game. So the front 3, this is where the question is. I think Emile Smith-Rowe for me deserves to come back in the side. However much Martinelli has had a very very good very good spell with Emile Smith-Rowe away, but I'm gonna say this: Smith-Rowe is much needed in this game rather than Gabriel Martinelli. I think Martinelli will come in the 70th minute or 60th minute when the game has taken its course. But it's going to be a game of an end-to-end game. You need players like Smith-Rowe that can hold on to the ball. You need players like Smith-Rowe that can hold possession for quite some time, players that can think, players that can buy you that time. And of course, we're going to be playing a team that is really really very poor in terms of defense. So you need Smith-Rowe in this game. You need Saka as well. So I will go with Saka on the right. I would definitely never go with Nicola Pepe. So I'll go with Saka, Smith-Rowe up front, and then play Alexander Lacazette. I won't play Gabriel Martinelli through the middle. I know many people would love to see Gabriel Martinelli play through the middle, get his chance as a striker. But I think he's really doing well as a winger, by the way. Very, very well. I think he's getting in those spaces very well. He's getting into the penalty area as well very well. There is nothing more you demand from a player like him. I think he needs to get the chances more. He needs to score more goals. But my front 3 will be Smith-Rowe, Lacazette and Saka. So I'm making two changes to the team that actually played against Southampton. I'm bringing Smith-Rowe in for Gabriel Martinelli, and I'm bringing in Albert Samuel Lokonga in for Granit Xhaka. But the rest of the team, for me, I was impressed in the last game, and I hope we can actually keep the same lineup. Let me know in the comments below if you feel I go with the right lineup. But of course, tomorrow we'll be able to get into the predictions and things like that. But anyway, that is my lineup. I would play a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. I think either way it would work, because look, they're gonna play a 4-2-3-1 with Thomas Susek and Declan Rice in a pivot. So I think it would be better if we played a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1. Either way for me, I think it will really really work out for us. So let me know in the comments below which players would you actually love to see against Westham, and I'll speak to you in the next one.